Today's video, we're going to be changing the water pump on this '09 Corolla. The reason why we're changing it is it makes a pretty mean noise when it's on. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to take off the alternator. One, to have more room for people who would have trouble with like big hands and big arms that can't get down there. So I'm just going to go the long way around and take off this alternator. And to do that, we're going to first take off the battery terminals. It's a 10mm. To take off the alternator, there's this electrical connection, the power wire, and then just a mount bolt. 10mm for the power wire. To take off the electrical connector, there's a push pin right here on the right side. You just squeeze it in and pull out. And there you go. Now there's a harness bracket that mounts to the alternator. It's a 10mm. Use the open end. Now this harness moves out of the way. Now we're going to loosen the tension. This is the tensioner for the whole serpentine belt. There is a jam nut right there that you loosen first, 12mm, and then you unscrew this back. I already put a white mark to get a rough estimate where the tension is when we put it back on together. First, loosen the jam nut. And now you unscrew the screw. Okay, I'm going to get the bottom mount of the alternator, which is that bolt right there. It's a 14mm. I broke a loose off a camera because I need to get the room for it here. Last thing for the alternator to come out, I'm going to take off this bracket. This is a 12mm bolt. I'm going to have to take off this bracket to get it separate because it's just too long to maneuver the alternator itself. So I'm going to take this 12mm bolt all the way out. Here's the alternator. Now you have clear access to all the bolts on the pulley. Here's what we can hear by just spinning it by hand. So it kind of sounds like the bearing's going out. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but right there, it's the petcock. It's pretty much just something that you unscrew. And there's a hose, or the bottom of it has a nipple to drain. I ended up finding this hose, this rubber hose. It's either a 5/16 or 11/32. So get yourself some hose, and so you can plug it up like that to the bottom of the petcock, and then it's going to drain right into that bucket right there. Alright, I'm trying to show you just where it is. There's the petcock right there. I'm going to unscrew by hand, and this hose right here runs right to the nipple. And it'll just drain right into the bucket. Now let's let it drain. Follow this ring, this outside ring towards this side, and any mount that you see is where the mount bolt is. Because like there's this one right here, but that is not a mount for the water pump. So I'm just going to try to give you a general idea as I'm doing them. Next one is right over here. So now with the two of them side by side, kind of see, this one is the old one. Here's the new one. So, makes sense of why this one was exaggerating that noise at engine speed. So, this one's ready to go in. Okay, I'm going to try to show you the seal. It's right there. We're going to have to take that out and put the new one in. So I'm going to use a normal pick. You just got to be careful not to scratch the surface. So now what I'm going to do is check the gap all the way around. Make sure no residual seal is left over on the sealing surface. And then I'm going to take some brake cleaner and clean it out. So all this right here, I'm going to go around and clean it up so the new seal is not going to be contaminated by any dirt or anything like that. Okay, I cleaned out the seal retention, or where the seal retains. Cleaned off the water pump, the new one. Now you're gonna get your gasket, your new seal. And it does matter, it doesn't just go this way or this way. This little lip right here is facing down. It's on the bottom side of this little narrow part. So just so you know, it's gonna go like this, a little nub on the bottom side. I'm putting a little bit of the old coolant on so it doesn't go in dry. Okay, seal's in. You can kind of see it protrudes a little bit out, so it'll get compressed when the seal, or with this water pump, seals up. And this is where you want to evenly tighten all the bolts. You just don't want to put one all the way in and then the other one cockeyed, because the seal might pop out. So now you got to carefully put it in the water pump, making sure you don't push the seal out. Okay, all of them are hand tight, and you can still see there's a gap all the way around. That means all these bolts are sitting flush, or I'm sorry, the water pump is sitting flush all the way around. And this is where we, kind of like a wheel, when you're putting a wheel on a car, you got to crisscross tighten it. And that's just so we evenly distribute the load on the seal. Okay, now all 5 bolts are torqued down just enough to where it's fully seated. Now we're going to put a torque on it. Okay, I got my torque wrench. 3 of the bolts go to 18 foot-pounds and 2 of them go to 19. But just for ease of installation, I'm going to do the cross pattern with 18 pounds, and then I'm gonna put the 19 pounds on the two longer bolts, which is that one and that one. But for now, I'm just gonna go 18 in a crisscross pattern. Yeah, pretty much nothing. All right, water pump is installed. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off, and we'll put the alternator back in. Okay, now that the alternator is in, now we gotta put the serpentine belt on. All right, the tensioner is set. Now we just torque down the two mount bolts. Okay, they say the top bolt is 14 pounds. All right, moment of truth. Everything's back together. Alternator's all in. I changed the oil right now too, since my buddy wanted it done with it. I ran out of I put the original coolant back because everything was still clean, and I put distilled water to fill in the rest of it. Anyways, I got this funnel set up, so when I start the car and bleed it, all the air pockets will come up. You'll probably see it mixed with pink coolant and stuff because it's cycling through. But we're gonna run it up, watch the temperature on the dashboard, make sure it doesn't start overheating, and I'm gonna put like a little bit of tape right here so you can see how much residual we get. There should be no more than that, and maybe a little bit on the floor, but we'll see. We'll get a nice bleed on the system. Also, make sure you turn on your heater on defrost to get the whole heater core cycled with the coolant, and make sure the air pockets come all back up. Once everything looks good, you don't have no air bubbles, you're not leaking anything from the water pump, and everything looks good, go ahead and call it a day. And hopefully this video helps y'all. Y'all have a good one.